morning, everybody. It's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway. I'm here to bring you your weekly reading, which is a general read for the week, the 24th of Feb until the 1st of March. So let's get straight into it. I am working with my deck, the second edition of the Sacred Geometry Healing Cards. The links are below to where you can purchase, as well as my liquid alchemy in a bottle. Also, I will put on a link to where my next tour is, which is to Egypt later this year, called the Seeds of Kemet. And it is October 24th until November 9th, and it is going to be a sensational tour. So keep your eyes out for that. Okay. So let's draw some cards for this week, 24th of Feb until the 1st of March. Okay, what have we got here? All right, so first card to come out is the inner child. Second card to come out are ancient sound frequencies. And the third card to come through is meditation. And what I'm feeling with these cards at the moment is, and it's fun, it's interesting, this conversation came up over the week, last week, is that we do spend a lot of time adulting. And yes, we have to for a big part of our lives. But in the other, on another note, we actually need to reconnect to the inner child within and work at that child's play, because we seem to get so serious in life that we forget to really find that inner joy and happiness, that creativity, because so much of our creativity really stems from that sacral area, which is where this sits. It's that creativity, it's that birthing area, and which we actually can produce our best work. And for mums, it's where we nurture and grow, a baby for 9 months before we actually give birth. And so it is really important to reconnect yourself to this inner child aspect, because so much of our work can actually, the ideas for our work can actually come from this aspect of self, from that inner child play. And I know, I'd like to just add the note, I know not everybody has had the happiest of childhood, or may not have the best childhood memories, but in saying that, it's about knowing how we can connect into and knowing and understanding, as we've observed children, to that child's play. And it's not just that child's play, but it's that freedom, that knowing of not having to take on the world onto our shoulders. It's about our imagination. It's about our, as I said earlier, our creativity. It's about creating so much balance for ourselves this week. The balance of the ancient sound frequencies. Tune into these tones, and they are readily available on YouTube. I highly recommend looking into it, listening to these, playing this even as you're working, because you can find these tunes on YouTube, and some of them go for like 8-9 hours. So you could actually have it on in the background. You could have it on while we sleep. It's about reconnecting to the purest of tone to bring our body back into the balance that we need to create for ourselves now. It's really, really important. And another way that we can create the balance that we see here is also through meditation, because as we go into meditation, we actually get to leave that egoic part of ourselves behind for a little while as we connect into our higher self, and we can start working with our intuition, because the best GPS that our body has, or that we have, is our intuition. And when we can tap into that intuition, when we can leave aspects of ego behind, and that includes, I'm going to say fear, because fear has come up a lot. I'm seeing a lot of fear come up, and I'm probably one to put my hand up on that. And each one of us are going to experience the element of fear for different reasons, but it's about being able to leave that behind and to actually start working on those higher levels of frequency. And you will be amazed at how different you will start to feel, but energetically things will start to change for you, and you will really notice it. Okay, can I have a few more cards, please? And thank you for the week 24th of, here we go. Okay, and you know what? It's exactly what I was talking about when I'm looking at the inner child. Okay, the orange icosahedron has come through. This week, it's about that connecting in to the sacral area, that place of inner child. But for some, we can call it, that the inner goddess, the feminine aspect of self. But it's also working on the element of water. So we're working on emotions, and it's working on the feminine divine. And each one of us, one of the laws, one of the 7 Hermetic Principles is the law of gender. And each one of us, whether we're male or female, need to be in touch and in tune and have balance with the feminine aspect of ourselves. So, it's just adding on to what we're already talking about here. And what is lovely is the egg of life has come through. So when we are working, if we are reconnecting to the inner child of ourselves, we already know that aspect of ourselves, the information that we need, is already present within us, because the egg of life is the blueprint of who we are. And the information that we contain is already within us. It's about going within. And we can do this through the inner child. We can do this through creating beautiful balance and really equalizing out all the frequencies within, on all levels, I should say. And we can do this through the meditation aspect as well. So, a nice little message here coming through, definitely. Let's pull one more card for the reading this week. One more card, please, and thank you. Okay, well, we've actually got 3. And you know what? The bottom of the deck is harmony. It's about creating harmony this week. Again, when we're working with harmony, we're working with the 432 frequency, which is the universal frequency. So it seems that this week is all about working with the purest of tones. These being the solfeggio, the 432 being the universal frequency. Meditation, because it's our connection to our higher self. This is working, crown chart's working with the intuition. This is working, when we're working with the dodecahedron, it's the ether or spirit that we're working with. So perfect combination with meditation. The second icosahedron, I have 2 in this deck. This one is the blue one. It's about speaking our heartfelt truths. So it's about, whatever aspect, it's about being true to yourself, first and foremost, but it's also about speaking up. How are you feeling within yourself? And speaking up when, in certain relationships in your life. And this has come up big time for me today. This is Raven Magic. And for me, it's about releasing the fear. And we spoke about that earlier today, or earlier at the reading. And it's about heightening our intuition, as we can see here. But it's also about coming from the darkness into our light. We sit in our vulnerability, allow it, but then release it, because it's your time to shine. Love you all. See you next week. Bye for now.